It's undeniable that Chinese manufacturers have taken the South African automotive industry by storm. And so today, we're at Omoda and JQ in Woodmead of Johannesburg to unpack precisely why the Omoda C9 is such a compelling product, and perhaps to answer the question, are the Germans in trouble in the South African market? We have plenty to discuss, so without further ado, let's get started. Car Talks: Power, Precision, Performance. Now, Omoda is part of the Chery Group, and as you may recall, this is not Chery's first rodeo in South Africa. In fact, the company had tried to make an entrance into the South African market in the early 2000s, and they gave us products which left much to be desired. Remember the Chery QQ3 that had a 0.8-liter engine and only produced 38 kilowatts of power? Well, you could probably run to the shops and do all your grocery shopping faster than it would take you to drive that thing. Needless to say that was not a success, and as a result, Chery briefly exited the South African market. The two biggest lessons, however, that we get from that exercise are that the cheapest product is not necessarily the best one to buy, and secondly, dreams delayed are not dreams denied, because here we are 16 years later and Chery is flourishing yet again. Looks are subjective, I agree, but in my opinion, the Omoda C9 looks absolutely phenomenal from every single angle. When it comes to practicality, the C9 has a boot capacity of 660 liters, which expands to 1,783 liters with the rear seats folded flat. Under the boot cover is where you will find a full-size spare wheel, which is incredible in today's age. You also get an electric tailgate. The rear seats are covered in leather with a beautifully stitched design, and 3 adults can sit comfortably back there. You also get a center armrest with 2 cup holders, as well as ISOFIX anchor points. Your rear occupants are treated with their own climate control, together with 1 USB Type-A and Type-C port. I'm 1.78 meters or 5'10", and I can sit comfortably behind my driving position. Headroom is also decent. Now, before we discuss the interior features that you get in front, I do want to say that I completely understand why this kind of car is thriving at the moment, especially in the context of the South African market. According to Chery's claims, this is a luxury mid-sized SUV, so it competes alongside the Mercedes-Benz GLC, BMW X3, and Audi Q5. And the reason why it's thriving in that segment is because it comes as standard with all of the bells and whistles that you can think of at a decent price, which is not the norm in that segment. So let's do a practical exercise to drive this point home. For starters, this is the Inspire model, so you don't get Napa leather as standard. However, on the top of the range Explore model, you do get Napa leather as standard, whereas this is a 24,000 Rand optional extra on the Audi Q5 according to their configurator. Up next, you get head-up display, free of charge, which is a 21,000 Rand optional extra on the Mercedes-Benz GLC. A panoramic sunroof also comes as standard on the C9, whereas on the BMW X3, you could either get the panoramic sunroof on its own at 25,000 Rands, or you can get it as part of the deluxe package, which includes other features such as a Harman Kardon sound system, and that's 45,000 Rands. Now, this particular matte color is called Quantum Grey, so I looked up a similar Mercedes-Benz color on their configurator for the GLC, and I found something called Magno Grey, which is a 44,000 Rand option. And finally then, both models within the C9 family come with a sporty exterior with 20-inch rims. However, on the Mercedes-Benz GLC, the equivalent AMG line is 43,600 rands. And so in just 2 minutes, we've discussed nearly 200,000 rands worth of optional extras that could have really been included in the purchase price of the Germans to begin with. I think I'll pause there for now, but we all get the picture. The proposition that you can get into a fully spec'd car without ticking a single box is truly compelling. And in light of this, I have a feeling that the Germans might be in for a surprise over the next few years. In approximately 2 weeks from today, the plug-in hybrid version of this vehicle, which produces 440 kilowatts, will officially be on sale in South Africa. And if it were to kick off at a base price of around 1 million rands, then that would definitely shake things up even further. Now, with regards to questions around reliability 5 years from now, or questions related to dealer network and the availability of parts, I think those are all valid concerns and definitely something to consider before buying one of these brands. In fairness, Omoda is a startup company which was only founded in 2022, so unfortunately, only time will give us all of the answers to our burning questions. But I think fundamentally what these cars are doing is responding to an immediate socio-economic issue of salary stagnation. And yet, new car prices are doubling every 7 years. And so I think that's where the appeal is with these products. Moving right along, you get a center armrest with ample storage. Additionally, you have even more storage further up on the center console. You also get 2 cup holders, a wireless charging pad, and another place that looks like a wireless charging pad, but it's actually just for phone storage. Oh, and I love those AMG GT-esque physical dials. They look really good. Interior quality is undeniable, and you can really tell that the partnership that Chery has with Mercedes-Benz in China has really paid off, because you've got some high quality bits and pieces in here that come from Mercedes from years gone by, but it's high quality stuff. 2 C9 models are currently on sale in South Africa. You get a front wheel drive Inspire and an all-wheel drive Explore, both of which are powered by a 2-liter turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine producing 192 kilowatts and 400 newton meters of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic gearbox. And to our American internet warriors, that's 257 horsepower. Okay, happy days. The front-wheel drive Inspire does have a slight upper hand on efficiency at a combined cycle of 8.2 liters to the 100, as opposed to the 8.5 liters on the 4-wheel drive. There's a touch haptic power on button to the left of the infotainment screen. And once the screen is on, you can then toggle through and select various drive modes.
Eco mode, normal mode, sport mode.
On the home screen is where you'll find wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of which are complemented by the Sony 8-speaker sound system. You can also change the vehicle display color on the infotainment graphics, which I honestly think should be restricted from factory to the color that the vehicle comes in, if I'm really splitting hairs. But it is a cool function to see in action. Speaking of splitting hairs, I'm not exactly a fan of these new generation fake exhaust tips which this particular model does have. The actual exhaust, however, is under the rear bumper. Back to the infotainment screen, you get multicolor LED ambient lighting, which really looks good. You also get a reverse camera and many more features that I couldn't explore today, but I'm gonna push to get this car on test so that I can do a much more extensive review of it. Before we get to pricing and the cost of ownership, if you're enjoying these videos, then do well to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe so that we can continue getting opportunities such as this one and bring them to your screen. The base model is of course the Inspire, which we're currently reviewing today, and it kicks off at a price of 785,900 rands. A step above that is the current top of the range for now, the Explore model, and will set you back an additional 100,000 rands, which includes additional features such as Napa leather, 4-wheel drive, 4 additional speakers to the Sony system, and adaptive suspension. On finance, the Inspire will cost you 15,051 rands a month at the current prime interest rate of 11% per annum. Insurance is risk profile dependent, and the cheapest quote I got was 1,860 rands. Petrol will cost you 1,400 rands at the current inland price of 95 octane for the 65-litre tank, which would then bring your total cost of ownership to 18,300 rands. Personally, I can't wait for the plug-in hybrid to retail because that'll shake things up without a doubt. And if it does indeed list for under 1 million rands, I might be tempted to get one for myself. Who knows? Omoda and Jake Woodmead are part of the Hatfield Group, and you already know that Hatfield are friends of the channel. So huge thank you to Emil for facilitating the shoot. I'll leave his details in the description below. And that brings me to the end of this video. Until next time, take care.